Hello all! All the parts have arrived, so it's time to fix the Philips BG8020 MSX computer. First of all, I'm going to resolder all the diodes that were tested okay and replace the two voltage regulators, the 7812 for positive 12 and the 7912 for negative voltage. Then I will, outside of circuit, plug the transformer to the mains and check that the output voltage are as specified here in the board. So let's get started. Okay, now that I have soldered all the components back, the diodes and the two new voltage regulators, the first step is to take the transformer from here, plug it in and check with the multimeter the outputs. Thankfully in this power supply the outputs are marked like this. So we have minus 12, plus 12 and plus 5. Easy. And the ground obviously. So now I'm going to plug the transformer as far as I can from the power supply I'm going to test, because the transformer is inputting and outputting high voltages. And now let's plug it to power and see if it doesn't go crazy or anything like that. Carefully. Okay. So now it's supposedly power. The power button says it's off. Plug it in. It has not exploded. So now I'm going to power on the multimeter on 60 volt and try to see if I'm getting the voltage. Example here, I'm getting -8. So yeah, I'm getting some voltage. -12. Okay, so now let's see if I can see here. So brown should be +5 and black is okay, yeah, 5 volts. Now red is +12, 12 volts, and orange -12, -11.98. So yeah, -12 volts. I'm going to unplug it for safety directly from the wall, and now I should let it discharge before managing it, because the capacitors, these capacitors, can be charged with high voltage. So if I touch them ground, I'm going to get a shock of 200 voltage in my case, because I'm in Europe, or 100 voltage for American and Japanese people. The ways these kind of power supplies can fail is the transformer, so it wouldn't give the proper voltage at all. That's the most difficult part to replace, but doesn't seem to be the case now. The diodes that just get no power, the capacitors are a very common failure, and the regulators. The problem with the regulators is that they have two modes of failure. The first mode of failure is catastrophic, because whatever is the input is going to be the output. So you can get 12 or 20 or even 30 volts on a circuit that's only able to support 5 volts. Catastrophic failure. The other failure is that they don't give enough voltage, or apparently they give the voltage when there's no load. So like now, there's nothing loading here, there's no consumption of power, the computer is not connected, and the voltage regulators are giving the proper voltage, -12, +12, +5, etc. In this kind of failure, the moment I apply the load, I connect it to the computer, and it has other components draining that power. The regulators wouldn't be able to provide enough power, and just instead of giving +5, it will get down to +3 or even 0. That's not a catastrophic failure, but because of the existence of the other catastrophic failure, when you have this kind of voltage regulators, it's a good idea to always try the power supply outside of the circuit. Same with this kind of transformers, because it can be burned inside and have a short circuit passing the 200 volts or the 100 volts in Americas and Asia to the computer, and that's not good. So check it that the power supply now is working. I will proceed to soldering the logic gates that I received, the 74 LS something, I don't have them here, to the main board, while these capacitors discharge safely, and when that's complete, I will assemble everything. Also, of note, 1 second. This board, that when disassembling in the last video I didn't know what it was, this board takes the component video output from the video display processor of the MSX computer and converts it to composite video, CVVS. That means that with a real modification, only taken from this connector, I will probably be able to just get a replacement one and make a white connector. We can get component video from this computer, even if the monitor output is only composite, so higher quality. That's also a thing that I'm going to try. After this gets the composite video out, this goes to RF modulator that's inside the main board. This is a docked board with 270 LS chips that just converts and joins the 3 component colors into single composite video. So let's go and solder the components to the main board.
Questions where we blow my mind.
Everything is soldered, so now it's time to assemble and test it. At first I will just test it using the RF out from the RF modulator, and if I see any problem I will try to use the composite video output. If it works, if I can tune in with the RF output, then I will just finish this video with it working, and in the next video I will do a cable for the component output and a cable for the composite using the monitor output here. So let's assemble it. Finish. I have not yet closed it completely because as it has clips, opening it again may break the clips, and I want to test it before closing it completely. Also, if it works, I will create the composite output cable for the monitor connector and the component one using some hole I can find maybe here in the cartridge slot or somewhere else. I will see what's the best place to do a non-destructive modification. That's something for another video. Now let's try it and see if this repair and cleaning has worked. Now let's see if it works. It's strange because it's not showing anything. I have this black screen. I'm going to try and power cycle it and see if this is the channel of the RF modulator. Yeah, seems so. This is the channel and there is no image. So I will have to check if there is another problem on the computer and see maybe there's some problem with the memory or with other component. Yeah, it's doing that strange thing with the graphics. It also may be a problem with the graphics chip. So in the next episode, I will use the oscilloscope to see the buses and see if there is any proper activity or not. Let me try to find the caps lock key and see that seems that the keys are not making any difference. So it may be something with the memory or maybe something with the CPU. With the oscilloscope in the next video we'll see it. Thanks for watching and please don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye!